what's going on? Legendary here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind, episode 29. And right now we are going to be popping a cooking potion and then picking up some things that we did a little bit behind the scenes. We also worked on our magic a little bit and we collected a little bit more resources for artisan and things like that, which aren't really a big deal. So we made quite a bit of those and we got some cooking XP. So now we are also behind the scenes. We added a lot of we added a lot of lodestones by a lot of this rune essence. So we are going to be working on rune crafting right now. So we've already popped a rune crafting potion, and now that there's so many lodestones, it's actually going to be quite time consuming to gather all this. But we're going to bring you guys along, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. So if you haven't already, go ahead and drop a sub, because obviously we love it when people sub to our channel and we get that community interaction. It actually fuels our quest. So anyways, let's keep going and keep getting XP, as there's lots to be done. And the next episode, just so you know, is probably going to be construction. And we were sort of trying to put this off for as long as possible because we're still quite a ways away from December. But I think it's important that we still focus on it, as we've been focusing on a lot of other things lately. And we've got quite a bit of ash planks that we really want to start using. So you could just see that there's ridiculous amounts of rune essence here. I mean, we're going to be getting a lot of XP. So that's why I like to leave them on the ground. I shoot them and then I come back and get them. And it's actually interesting. I think it was in my last video. I thought I was using leggings of lightness, but I was not. And I'm not now. So I probably should have those on, because it's going to allow me to carry, I believe it's like 50 kg or whatever it is more. So we will just use our storage chest. It's really not that big of a deal, but obviously it's something to keep in mind if potentially you were going to be carrying something a lot more heavy. So we definitely would have benefited, but we're not going to stop now to change those, because we only actually have 3 rune crafting potions that we have made, and we don't want to stop everything that we're doing to sort of focus on that. So if you'll notice, a lot of this rune essence is already shot down, and that's because we sort of did that behind the scenes as well. So we haven't had an opportunity to have it sort of come back yet, which is fine, because we're going to be getting quite a bit right here. And so we're going to have plenty to level up the skill. But I don't know. I mean, we're really enjoying RuneScape Dragonwilds, and couldn't be more excited for the new updates to come to the game. Range, which seems like it's still eternity away, is really not. I mean, it's September 9th. Hopefully, I'm not sure if they're going to be giving us anything in between now and then, so hopefully they do decide to do that. But I'm not sure what it would be. Probably not, because I noticed that they did say in the developer log quite a while back now that they have 30 people working on the game. So I think that they've got to be realistic with how much they can give and how often they can give. So obviously we're just quite excited about it, and that's why we want it now. But that's okay, as we have lots of XP to get, so that way we can feel more comfortable with being in alignment in reaching 99 in all skills. So that's another interesting one actually too, is when is 99 going to be sort of fully enforced? I would imagine hopefully by the end of 2026 that's a thing. Hopefully they decided, okay, well, certain skills, you know, have been out for quite some time. And there's another interesting question. How is that going to work? Are new skills going to automatically come out into the game with whatever they've upgraded it to? Or are you sort of going to have to wait to progress those to, let's just say that they come out with farming, right? Which they're coming with out with in December. Are they going to have it be like, okay, so your starting level is level 50? That's the max. Or is it going to be level whatever they bring it up to? Because I honestly feel like level 60 would be quite nice. So I'm not sure really what they're doing, but level 70 would be nice. I'm just very interested to see the XP gap between those levels, as I've got quite a bit of XP in certain skills, so I'm very interested to see what that's going to look like. But ultimately, the whole point of that conversation was to say, what will new skills cap at? Will it be level 50 or sort of whatever they've risen the cap to? So I'm very interested to see how they go about that. So obviously, some of these places are going to have a little bit more renaissance than others, and that's because obviously we've slowly been adding lodestones, and more so recently we added quite a bit more near all these essence nodes. So that's also going to be really interesting. I've talked about this quite a bit. Are they going to be adding bigger rune essence nodes? I definitely think that they should, and it's just sort of something we're going to have to wait to see. Um, I know that there's going to be Fell Hollow coming to the game, which is supposed to be like 2.5, potentially for sure 2 times the size of what we've got completely in the game right now, which I think is wild. But I think that's great because it's going to give us so much new area to explore between the next update, which is going to be like 2026, somewhere in quarter 1. So, but that's not necessarily probably going to be as big of an area of an update. But that's fine because I think that with constant updates to the game, it's going to constantly give us different things that we can sort of focus our time into and gradually increase the size of the maps and different creatures and things to explore. So I think the game is headed in just a great direction. And those roadmaps are honestly pretty amazing. So there's quite a bit of things to be excited about. They're still going to be coming to the game. So all I can say is I'm very excited for RuneScape Dragonwilds, for what's to come. And I don't know. It's hard to believe we only have 935 rune essence right now. I believe we did this in another one of our episodes. I can't remember if I had 5,000 rune essence by the time I was done. I can't quite remember how much I actually had, but we also got to pop our rune crafting potion as that has expired. Another thing is, before we actually start turning these into runes, we're going to have to pop a rune crafting potion as well. So we will have to actually make a little bit more, which is really not that big of a deal. I don't know how many of these rolled way down this hill, so I'm not going to run way down the hill to get them if they did. It looks like they sort of stopped here, which is quite nice. But even that, if you really think about it, like, that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, as irritating as it really is, you have to say to yourself, they roll down the hill. Like, what a cool little, like, visual or sort of mechanic in the game. If something is round or sort of oddly shaped, it will roll with the consistency that it probably would in real life. I just think that's actually quite cool that they've got it set up that way. So I don't know if we got these. We have not. So there's a chest over there. I bet that's got some rune essence in it, but it's not going to give us any XP, so we're not going to worry about that right now. And ultimately, this is just a grind. I mean, that is what it is. It's a daily gaming XP grind. We're going to go ahead and kill this guy. We also worked on magic a little bit behind the scenes. We did level up in our last episode, but we've been working on that, but not a bunch. It's not really been our primary focus. There's so many things we want to work on in the game. So it's just we've got to keep focused and keep working at this. So that's quite a ways from being able to use that. So we're just going to do it this way. But I mean, when you're mining them, they actually give quite a bit of good XP. So that's actually quite nice. We've got 1129 in our inventory. So we've got quite a bit of rune essence. I don't know. It's such a cool feeling. That's the crazy thing about this game is, I mean, okay, so you've pretty much done everything in the game potentially, and you've done all the quests, which I actually have not. There's like 3 I have not done. But it's just, there's always something to do. And even if you've already done it, people who've played RuneScape totally understand. It's basically do it again. Just keep doing it. And the XP sort of fuels you to keep going. So it's actually quite exciting. And once you actually get to level your levels past 50, it's going to be all the more exciting because then you sort of get to feel that burn once you reach closer to level 99, because Obviously, those are the ultimate goals, and it definitely still has that feel of like playing the old other RuneScapes of excitement. And I think the more they bring to the game and sort of different things like that, it's going to change that as well and just make it better. But I don't know. I mean, how much more are they going to increase the requirement to level 99? Because they can't. I don't know. It's weird. You're obviously trying to gauge the game to the players. Some people don't have as much time to play, but that didn't change it in RuneScape. You know what I mean? Like in those games, it was like this is the requirement if you want to be level 99. So you either decided that you were going to go do it or you weren't. And even though this is a survival game, I mean, it's you have to wonder if that's going to keep in alignment because at the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. So, and also, it is a survival game, so it will not be treated as that. It will be like kind of different, really, because your experience in this game. Because, like, let's just talk about like the older RuneScapes. You could actually sort of get level 99 in a lot of skills without having to put yourselves in these immense dangers. Like, you sort of, I mean, obviously, you had to do some quests that were quite difficult, but you could still have a lot of 99s without actually having to do crazy things. So I think this game puts you at a different position where you are going to be have to fighting other dragons that are going to be quite like Velgar, obviously, but more tough dynamic of the actual battles and sort of mechanics that you're going to be encountering. So I think it's really cool. Hopefully they're not too hard. I mean, obviously definitely want a challenge, but hopefully it's not just absolutely ridiculous. I remember when Nomad first came out, that was so tough for me because before they updated it, the way you would click the tiles, it was very difficult, and the game did not respond well. So I spent like days trying to kill Nomad before I was finally able to. And keep in mind, I had a lot of like high level skills, so it shouldn't have been that difficult. But because the game mechanics, just were the user interface and all that stuff, the way you click made it incredibly difficult. So I mean, I eventually did kill him, but it killed a part of myself. So while trying to do it, I almost felt like I was going to quit the game just based on that one boss because I had the quest cape on both characters I used to have, and it was very horrible. Trying to get back a quest cape when a boss isn't necessarily hard, and the fact that it's actually hard. It was more so the way that you click on the squares or something in the game and the way the mechanics work that actually made it difficult. So that was very frustrating for me to sort of accept that based on my like lack of mobility and sort of able to play the game in a way that truly showed strategy or sort of that you knew how to play. It really wasn't about knowing. It was about hopefully my clicks sort of work right in this situation so that way I don't get blasted by a ridiculous amount of damage. But we ended up getting it, and then we took a huge break from RuneScape 3, and then unfortunately, I hadn't played for a really long time, and I sort of went back to check it out recently because the graphics got upgraded and there was so many new cool things, but I sort of lost touch with it. And quite to be quite honest, it was like there's no way I'm gonna go and do another 120 quests or whatever it was I was behind. So at that point, it was very difficult because I couldn't really do it. And then I started to do a little bit of research, and I found out about RuneScape Dragonwilds by complete accident, and I'm so glad that I did. It was almost like it. I'm not gonna say it was like meant to be. That's a little bit weird, but at the same time, it was very interesting because I was just sort of browsing for other games like RuneScape. And to be quite honest, there's really not a lot. And it also has to have the feel of RuneScape because I'm sure as many of you know who play the game that there's something pretty special actually about RuneScape itself. It's very unique and something sort of about the reward of it. I mean, I played World of Warcraft for a long time, but that was really cool too. I played that game for a long time. If you type in /played, I had about a year and like 31 days or something. But even that didn't have that sort of same feel like when you completed something. Maybe if you beat like a boss, it definitely felt really good. But ultimately, there's nothing quite like RuneScape, to be quite honest. And I'm sure a lot of you might disagree with that, and that's okay because everybody has preference, and every game means something different to somebody. And I think that ultimately that's a great thing because the way that we all sort of enjoy something and the way that it connects with us, it says a lot. So that's really important that we have that sort of difference in that regard. It also creates the opportunity for other games to thrive. So, it's not all just about one game doing well and then, so there's so much rune essence out here. I'm trying to just think in my head how much more time we're going to have to pop another rune crafting push. Look at all that rune essence. It's ridiculous. So I think our inventory is almost full anyway. So we're going to go ahead and put one in there. That's just wild. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, RuneScape definitely has sort of always had a place. I remember the first time I actually picked it up, and I actually couldn't even put the game, like, I couldn't figure it out. I was stuck in the tutorial area because I was so confused about how the game worked, so I couldn't even figure out how to do the basics. So I put the game down. And then maybe a couple months later, one of my friends, he played the game, and he was like, you should check this out. It's really cool. So I sort of explained, I was like, I tried that game and I sort of got stuck and it was horrible. And then he sort of helped me with that little bit. And there was another time too when the was it the maze, the wise old man or something like that. He sort of put me in that maze and I didn't really see the time on it. So I didn't realize it was a puzzle. I sort of thought I was stuck. So I actually stopped playing the game for 3 days, spoke with my friend, and he told me, no, no, you've got to get out of there. And then once you're out, you can continue to play the game. So it's quite funny, really, but then not really, because when you're in the moment, you're stressed. You're like, I just want to play the game. Like, what is actually happening right now? So I did figure that out, and then we moved forward. But it's funny how many times there was like a moment where you were like, I can't do this anymore, and you take breaks from RuneScape 3, whatever, old school RuneScape, but then you sort of find your way back to it. But I mean, for the most part, I think I'm done with that. I think that I've probably got 3 years of actual real life into that game, but it was definitely an amazing game, and it will always sort of have a place for me. Um, Interestingly enough, I do have a feeling about Minecraft, and it's a very interesting one because I actually bought Minecraft. I think I paid about $40 for it because there's a lot of hype surrounding it. And then I played, and obviously I played this before I played that, so I got into the building and I was very disappointed. Obviously, there's a lot more than just the building, but building in this game actually really got me into it. I was like, oh, this is exciting, like what else can I build and how far can I actually take it? And then, so getting into Minecraft, it being basically a building game, I was expecting sort of ridiculous things. And then I saw that everything was squares. So obviously, you have to be very creative in that and sort of that's part of the challenge I think that a lot of people like, that you sort of have to make things sort of gigantic to sort of get an image to sort of show up. But I much rather like the building in this, so I actually played Minecraft I think one time and then sort of put the game down because it wasn't for me. And oh my gosh, we've got a serious problem here. I'm poisoned by both of them. I've got to get out of here. This is ridiculous. Now I'm dead. I think the fall killed me because I actually don't have my leggings of lightness. That is just ridiculous. I mean, what was I even supposed to do if you really think about it? You've got 2 of these guys, they can poison you, and like, that's pretty frustrating. I don't even know what to say right now. But we're going to get our body back if we can find it. Where is it? It is this way. So now I got to go back up here. That's just quite frustrating, to be quite honest with you. But absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I want all this essence, but you've got 3 of these guys, and they're coming for me. We've got to run right now. And they could probably shoot over the rock, and then we've got guys over here. So I don't even know. We're in a bad spot right now. Hopefully we got most of the essence in the other areas, and I died, so my rune crafting potion went away, so that's really unfortunate too. Now we're not going to be getting quite as much XP as we would have. Hopefully they don't aggro anything else that's going to be coming after us, so we got to worry about that. Hopefully they just sort of go away. Hopefully. But crazy. I don't even know. Those guys are ridiculously powerful. I mean, even with... I mean, I've got mage stuff on right now, but even if I did, even if I had, like... I guess, like, the melee armor, the paladins, they're still really difficult to kill. I mean, it's not like they're easy. I definitely feel like this video is going to be more on the 40-minute run because of how much we've actually shot down over the course of time. We got 2 of those guys over there. See, this is why you do not hunt here in the night. You can already see there's a lot going on. We've got a lot of bad guys sort of patrolling. You do not want to be here at night. Way too much going on. We can look while we were stuck in the air how to make more rune crafting potions because we're going to need them. So we just need some coarse animal fur. So I'm going to pop some of these in here really quick while we are here. And the reason for that mainly being that I missed it. The reason for that is that once we do come back, we're going to need them so I can only do one. I need more rental. I think I put that up here. Which one did I put those in? They might not even be here. They might be at our main base behind us. So we've got to try to find those. Let's see. Terrible of me. All this organizing and still can't find anything because I'm out of salts. That should be enough. 3, I suppose. So just terrible. So those are going to do their thing, and we're going to go back out here and grab some more essence. And then, yes, so we're going to grab some more essence. But you saw how crazy that was. I mean, this area is not safe when it's dark. So that's definitely something to sort of keep in mind. But here we go. There's actually quite a bit of cool games that are going to be coming out that I'm excited to check out in between me playing this, of course. You've also got Borderlands 4, and you've got a couple cool other ones. Is it like Monsters and Stories or something like that? That one sort of has a RuneScape look to it, but hopefully my pickaxe can make it through all this. There's still quite a bit on the ground. It's everywhere. I'm not sure if it's going to. We've just got so much to pick up. But this is good because I think this is really going to give us a lot of XP in rune crafting. And obviously our target is 1 million XP in this skill, so I think we're going to be quite close to, putting a big dent. Obviously we're not going to be quite close to reaching that just from today. That would be absurd to think. But now we're going to have that ram after us. It just never ends. I don't really want what he has right now. Normally I would be totally for it. But, oh well, we're already going to be picking it up. This video is going to be really long, I think. Not by choice, but just because there's so much rune essence. It's actually crazy. But, I don't know. I mean, you just got to stay focused. Because, knowing, when I used to play the other RuneScapes, it's tough. I mean, we've all been there. You're like, what am I going to do today in the game? And I want to get this done and that done. And then you sort of start to do it and you're like, I'm bored. I'm going to jump to something else. So I think that's another really cool thing. Like right now, we don't have a ridiculous amount of things in the game. Also, really quick, just to sort of jump. That's another thing. When you have leggings of lightness on, you can jump from higher distance, higher like areas, and you're not gonna die. But right now, when I jump, it's like everything hurts. That's why I died earlier. So leggings of lightness are actually really beneficial, and we should have probably grabbed them while we were at our base, but we didn't. But would have been really useful. But there's all this rune essence because sometimes when you shoot the ones up there, they just sort of fall on the ground and they roll all over the place. So quite a bit of rune essence. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what I may end up doing, I'm probably just going to do an XP update once I've gathered all the rune essence, and then we're going to put it in the bank. We're not going to be making runes in this video. It's already too long, and that's not really the goal here, to make these ridiculously long episodes for you guys. So we'll sort of tie that in with next episode and cooking, so we can sort of knock out both at once. I think that's probably the better way to do this, because let's see if we can escape this wolf. I really don't want to deal with that right now, and in order to do that, we had to fall in the water. So I think we're going to be okay. But look at all this rune essence. It's so amazing. So we're quite happy about it. And look at all this. So much essence. 707 plus whatever we got in our personal chest. So, I don't know. And we've got more to get. But not tons more. Thank goodness. We're almost done. So I'm quite happy about that. Because I thought this was going to be a little bit better. But it's actually quite, I don't know, not terrible. It's just taking quite a bit. I like when you can sort of jump from one thing to the other. I think that makes it a lot more better. But that's not even a real thing, right? A lot more better. That's not how you pronounce that. That's wrong. It's just better when you can just sort of maneuver and do different things. But I would get that down there, but the Titanic's over there. And what happens when you do that is essentially you have to wait, because we've got too much stuff built down there, which is why we try to destroy quite a bit of things. But the truth is, I'm not willing to destroy certain things, so I don't think that's ever going to change. I'm not going to get rid of my Titanic. I'm not going to get rid of my Warhammer base I built. My Back to the Future clock tower, my Charizard, my AT-AT Walker is debatable because it's not that great. I feel like we could have put a lot more time into it and could have came out a lot better. But at the same time, I mean, not that worried about that. So that's potentially something we could destroy. But I really don't think that's just going to suddenly make the game load in faster. So I don't really think it's even worth destroying. But we've got a couple more little rune essence things on the ground here that we can actually get. And then that's pretty much going to be it. And we're going to go back to our base and we're going to give you guys an XP update, because I think we actually did work on quite a bit. I mean, in the regard of, I think we took a couple swings with magic, and we also did some mining because we've been mining our rune essence. And then we also, let's see, I think we did a little bit more. I can't even think about it right now, but there's so many sheep and ram around, you know. For those of you who play all the time, you already know how it is. You want to kill them, you want the resources, so it's a little bit of an addiction. At some point, you sort of just start to get like, you want it all. So it's a little bit tricky how that works. But now we've got a situation where we've got to get up here and get this essence. So we are going to see, maybe we can blow it up with that. Let's see if that works. It did not. That horribly failed. So let's jump. Oh my goodness, there's quite a bit up here. So it would have actually been quite nice if I saved that to explode it once I got here. And we're going to get hit by lightning, really, on the skull. That makes a lot of sense. So here we go. We are going to be getting some more rune essence. I'm quite excited to see how much XP all this got, because it's tough. I mean, having to teleport to like 25 locations and then sort of one time go back to all those, it's sort of a bummer. I mean, obviously it makes it so I can still get ready for this and then play the game at the same time. It doesn't change the fact that it's all time, you know, like, and just a little bit weird. You just sort of teleport somewhere, knock something down, and then leave. So obviously you can't deny certain things that are sort of that way. I'm going to kill these guys really quick. I hate leaving them. So we are going to kill them, and they're all dead. So it didn't take too long. We're going to pick this stuff really quick. We're going to leave that one sheep. I know it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I want to kill all these too, but I'm not going to. I got to get out of here because apparently I've got real problems. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about our XP update, guys. If you've made it this far, I know it was a little bit brutal. So we got 256,000 attack XP. We've got 798,000 woodcutting XP. Construction 1,705,000. Rune crafting 409,000 XP. That's a huge milestone. Magic 37,324 XP. Mining 4,038,000 XP. Artisan 3,056,000 XP, and cooking 126,924 XP because we also worked on cooking, which I forgot about. So that's pretty much it for right now. In the next episode, you can expect a couple things. I know we talked about how we were probably going to be doing construction, so that might change now. We might actually be working on a little bit of artisan to get ready for our mannequins. We're going to be making a lot of runes, and we're going to be potentially working on cooking a little bit more. So anyway, guys, we really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We have a ridiculous amount of rune essence. So actually, before we go, maybe we will actually put all these in a chest really quick, just so we can see how much we actually did in fact get while we were out there. That might be something quite cool to do. We got to pull these out so that way we don't have a hard time finding them later. But so let's go ahead and pull these out of our personal chest, and then we're going to call it for the day. But let's go put these in here. Was it right here? Was it this one? There we go. So we don't even have enough room to do all of them. But basically, what a ridiculous amount of rune essence. So, anyway, guys, again, thank you for watching. We really appreciate you guys supporting our channel. And until next time, Legion Looter out.